there's a realization that goes hand in hand with anything you could ever want. And it's that nothing in life is simply deserved. Success has never been about entitlement or what you feel is owed to you. It's about what you take. See, every cause has an effect. Every journey has its milestones, and every victory has a beginning. And right now begins yours. Not in some blown-up, cinematic Hollywood sense, but in a decision to separate from your past, your mistakes and misconceptions. They are not what you are made of. The hardest thing to understand is that you are your future, the space between where you currently stand and your greatest dreams. And every step along the way is who you are. That's what defines you, your pursuit. Your future rests on the decision to conquer right now. Create the world you need to be the change you so desperately want. There are an infinite number of ways to succeed. Infinite, but there is only one way to fail, and that's standing still. Embrace life with open arms. It's giving you everything you need. It is your answer. The narrow existence right in front of you is not life. Life is the opportunity outside your door. The pure ecstasy of moving day in and day out towards your dreams, towards your ideal existence. That's what makes your highs higher and makes your lows feel like the cost of admission. It is a cheap price to pay for the ability to turn an average Tuesday into your wildest dreams. It's not a requirement, it's a gift. You get to see how far you can go, how much you can achieve, and if you want it bad enough, you will step on your limits like they are a never-ending staircase. Your journey is infinite, and so is your potential. What you want is not behind, it is not who you used to be or what you used to do. It's your very next step. Stand up. Regain composure and open your eyes, because there is everything to be gained. This is a fight against the tyranny of the subconscious, against enslavement by the mind, which mandates that you take the path of least resistance. How long does one need to be cornered, stagnant, or overpowered before they fight for what belongs to them? Before they take what is truly theirs? Imaginary limits, make-believe inadequacy will soon be a thing of the past, soundly defeated. This is not a negotiation. This is war. As fear takes the form of bullets, pain transforms into fire, and your world becomes chaos. Remember that what lies ahead is much more valuable than what is left behind. When you are tempted to fall back and fade away, look up at what can be and take what's yours. Storm the hill. Keep your eyes fixated on the prize. Sacrifice is an understatement. Indestructible confidence is a necessity. The enemy is not behind you, it's in front of you. It's fighting for the status quo, and its fight is in vain. You are armed with a desire for more, to be better, to not just exist, but to make the world wonder how you did it. Yes, this is war, winner take all. Stay still or move forward, settle or chase down what you really want. Yesterday doesn't matter, last month doesn't matter, right now matters. Knowledge, strength, wealth, status, excellence, many different words, many different meanings. But they do share one important thing, and that's that they are all outcomes. They are not obtainable by themselves, just like an effect can't take shape without the cause that contributed to its materialization. Right? They need something else, a seed, a root, a foundation. If excellence were the tallest building in your city, and you ripped it apart piece by piece until only the core existed, only that foundation, what you would see is courage. Because courage is the thing that gives you a platform to build on. Every starting block is comprised of unknowns. Every endeavor, every journey, every time you start something new, you're by definition a rookie. You're at the bottom of some pecking order. And I want you to never be fearful of these situations, but to be thankful for them. They're the roots that allow the tree to grow, and the only thing required for you to move forward is having the courage to say yes. Life is opportunity. The world around you is opportunity. Some people close their eyes and ignore it. Others choose to see it. Courage is never closing your eyes. Everything around you is courage. That building you're walking by, someone had the courage to start that construction company. The music you're listening to, someone had the courage to put their art out there into the world, to embrace the critics, the naysayers, the envious. They didn't stop. And now their creativity is flowing out of your headphones and into your life. Courage is the understanding that simple and easy are very different words. It is incredibly simple to work harder than the person next to you. It is simple to make sacrifices, to move out of your comfort zone. You don't need to understand Einstein's theory of relativity to be able to do those things. Oh, but side note, they're insanely difficult. At first, they will kill you inside. You'll be nervous, scared, self-conscious. Courage is the understanding that fear becomes progress, that being nervous transforms into excitement. And that what once ate away at you will become the fire that reshapes your life. Allow yourself to stumble through the beginning. Let yourself fail. That guy running a 5-minute mile, at one point he ran it in 8. That woman worth $1 billion at one point was worth $1 million, 100K. Maybe she was broke. It takes no courage to run the same speed your whole life. It takes no courage to stay stagnant. Courage is saying to yourself, I am worth more than I have now. I am faster than that stopwatch is showing. I am better than this grade reflects. Courage is when your actions take on a life of their own. When they embody that winning mentality, when your friends, your peers, and the people in your life give you a hard time because you're not the same person today that you were yesterday. Courage is smiling and moving forward. It's when the first setback comes, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, and you go straight through it. You adapt. You never lose sight of what you want. Courage is believing so strongly in your ability that you welcome discomfort today just so that you can turn it into an advantage tomorrow. Courage isn't listening to this, taking your quick blast of adrenaline into the living room and streaming Netflix. No, it's thinking about what you want more than anything else and driving toward it. One courageous step at a time. That is courage. Great progress is often the result of subtle change. Of seeing something a little bit differently than you did just a moment before. It's not that the world around you has changed. It's that your thoughts about it have. That you looked hard enough to see the opportunity when most simply walked by. See, people live in this place called reality. This little plot of land surrounded by a fence that separates them from the imaginary, the impossible, and the make-believe. But what if you took a second to stop, to look out at the unknown? What if every day you pushed that fence back, little by little, watching what used to be imaginary become your new reality? Soon you'd look around and you would wonder why a boundary ever existed. No word is as deceitful as impossible. Impossible is temporary. It's a falling raindrop. It's a bar that's constantly moving. And as goes your mind, so goes the world around you. When that intersection of real and imaginary blend together, possibilities multiply. Limitations crumble and fall, and failure is no longer an endpoint. It's an invitation to begin again. Two things define your world: your perception of it and how you act on that perception. Never ask yourself if something can be done. The question is how you're going to do it. How you're going to make yourself believe it can happen. Look, we were never taught to see the opportunity in everything. We were taught to follow orders, to accept what is. But it's the unknowns that point us in the direction of what we want most. They are not conventional. But neither were airplanes, spaceships, or driverless cars. Your goal is not to live. It is to live a life without walls. A life where you are the author and your story can be shared with the world. There's a saying that you can't start a new chapter in your life if you continue to reread the last one. And in many ways, I agree with this. The current moment will forever be a fresh start. It's a new beginning. But every so often, it's important to look back. It's necessary to examine the things that have shaped who we are and taught us our most valuable lessons. Because if you never stop and listen, you'd never capture the magnificence of the song. If you never step outside the city, you'd never appreciate the beauty of its lights. What makes beginning again such a unique thing is that it reminds us to step away and take a good look at what we have. Those moments that we so often take for granted, as our unpredictable journey transforms into a collection of moments in time. A series of little adventures that come together to define our view of the world and everything in it. It's incredible that we work so hard to redefine happiness over and over again, when the answers we seek are molded into those very memories of long drives and smiling faces. Those moments that scared us half to death, pushed us outside the front door and into uncharted waters. These moments aren't lived and forgotten. They become ingrained in who we are. And this brings to light the most important question of all. Do you recognize the opportunity in every page you write? Are you pouring your heart into every line, your greatest self into every word? When all is said and done, what will you remember? The next 365 should not be the road to a desired destination, but should be that destination in and of itself. Looking back is your answer key, your map. It's a tool to take the good stuff and multiply it, recreate it. If life is nothing more than a collection of moments, why not collect the ones that mean the most? A masterpiece isn't about the ending. It's about every word that gives it life from cover to cover. That's the fabric that ties the whole thing together. So may the road ahead of you be filled with action, not hope, passion, not obligation, and results, not plans. You may just fall in love with where it takes you. If you have built your castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. A foundation is not made in a day. It's not flimsy or weak. It's what holds everything together, and without it, you have useless pieces. Thoreau mentions a castle in the air, a goal. The answer resting above us, hovering over everything and everyone. But until we put life into it, that castle remains four walls and empty space. It stays part of an imaginary world. See, most people never get there because they don't understand they have complete authority over what's real. They set the guidelines with a magic that looks a lot like a single step forward, with fiction that very closely resembles progress. Edison said opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. It's not that people are lazy. It's not that they're incapable. It's that they don't realize how small a step is required to build momentum, to turn a snowflake into an avalanche. See, you look at that castle in the sky and you shake your head. You think how nice it would be. You flip on the TV, fantasize about million-dollar homes, debate whether athletes are officially elite, when you could be building a foundation for yourself, doing something for you. All those things you want can be realized, every one of them. But the road to excellence means nothing if you don't believe you're worthy of it. You are. Start building. You will be blown away by where this life can take you, where you can end up. Your goals take shape the minute they enter your brain. Never has there been such a powerful tool as the human mind. The same entity that can build a bridge to anything in the world can shackle you down. Listen, that visualization, that dream is there. It's there and it's very real. Not to keep you out, but to invite you in. and you will see that the only true fiction in your life is the narrative you use that holds you back. You want that castle in the air? Get it. Stop dreaming about it, wishing for it, and make it happen. Running around this morning, trying to get a head start on some things. Decided to stop in, grab a quick coffee. So I'm standing in line, door opens, two gentlemen walk in, stand in line right behind me. They start chatting back and forth, and basically one of them starts talking about how he's had a rough morning. Dealt with some unfortunate things and was basically capping today off as a bad day. Which on the surface is pretty ordinary. You know, we all have rough days, they're real, and this happened to be one of them. But it also happened that as he said this, I was looking at the clock, and it wasn't even 7 a.m. Now, I don't know this guy's situation, it's absolutely none of my business, and I have no intention of delving into it. But internalizing all this sort of got the gears turning in the back of my head. You know, I'm thinking about how much the day is left. The sun is still coming up as this conversation's happening, so I grabbed my coffee and walked outside, started to think about all the reasons that today is good, which is sort of an awkward activity at first, right? It's not something we consistently walk around talking to ourselves about, but as I gave it some thought, I immediately saw the benefit. Today is good because, for starters, what I'm left with at the end of the day is directly correlated to the decisions that I make throughout the day. Think about how powerful that is in itself, right? You know that feeling when you have a blank page to write or paint? Or there's a movie that you've been dying to see, the opening credits first come out, the first note is played at a concert. I'm living that, right? I am personified opportunity just walking down Beacon Street. If I go left, everything that happens will be because I went left. Think about the power that's contained in that. I mean, it opens the door for unlimited opportunities. Today is good because it's right now. I may have made some rough decisions last week, last month, last year, but guess what? They don't exist where I'm going. In fact, they don't exist at all. Maybe yesterday, but not today. Right? They've played their part, they've provided their wisdom, now they can disappear. Today is good because statistically, I shouldn't be here. Because so many people were robbed of today. Because I get the opportunity to see the sun come up. And because the time will come when that will no longer be the case. Today is good because I have friends and family to share it with. This ridiculous ride, chock full of ups and downs and all that stuff in between, right? I'm certainly not capable of sitting here and dissecting the meaning of life, but I do know that whatever it happens to be, it's substantially better when shared, when enjoyed, and today that's what I'm going to do. Today is good. I'd like to think there's a lot in store down the road. You know, some of it will push me forward, some of it will cause me to stop, make adjustments, but I'll be damned if it will take the joy out of my day. Not today. I have something very different in store and I plan to see it through. I have the ability, the resources, the determination. I can't think of anything else I'd need. So coffee in hand, here I go. I was never a runner until one day in grade school, I got running shoes and decided that I was. I never ran a successful business until I saw myself as an accomplished business owner. See, something I've realized through the years is that we are nothing more than the role we are playing. And every day we are auditioning for a part. I'll never forget years back listening to some actors doing a Q&A session. And a film student asked one of them for some strategies and approaches to getting into character. And one of the actors who volunteers to answer, he looks down at his feet, looks back up and says, "It all starts with the shoes that we wear." Because from the ground up, they define how we carry ourselves, how we feel. They allow us to embody a specific character and sort of move forward, taking on that persona. What he had just done was spell out the relationship between identity, the story that we've convinced ourselves we should live by, and the actions that we take. Our lives are defined by the metaphorical shoes we wear. You can only be what you believe you are, and you will never believe it until you own it, live it. Even though you haven't identified as something in the past, today is different. The script is new. Just like an actor is not confined to his previous role, why would you be confined to yesterday? That abstract idea we use to bundle up recent events and make them tangible, just so that they can act like an anchor. Oh, yesterday I couldn't complete my workout, so I'm not a runner. Yesterday I was shy at the conference, so I'm an introvert. Yesterday I failed my math test. I don't do math. Look, my question is that right? Is it you? Or are those simply the shoes that you've chosen to wear? The role you are playing, because it never fails. If that's how you think of yourself, that is positively the result you're going to get. Wanting something better, positive change, greatness, it requires more than wishful thinking. It requires a deliberate shift in mindset, a change in character, becoming something new. Maybe you're a millionaire. Maybe you're a millionaire with no money right now. Maybe you're a millionaire with a hell of a lot to learn. But if you don't believe you are, right now, at this very moment, you will never be one. People always live up to the image that they have created of themselves, period. How you think of yourself is what you'll get. We are actors. The majority of us playing the same role, the one we played yesterday and the day before and the day before. But if you could just convince yourself to be something new, to wear the shoes, to sing the song and dance the dance, you'll evolve. You'll walk away from the fiction holding you back, just like the elephant tied to the plastic chair. You are not the problem. It's the shoes on your feet and the way that you think about them. And I suspect that it's time for a new role. There's something about the way we perceive success that results in one of the greatest tragedies of our time. And that's the belief that successful people, the ones at the top of their game, that talent is what punched their ticket, that destiny brought them to the finish line. And that's wrong. It's wrong because it takes the journey, the struggle, the scratching and clawing that it took to get to the top of the mountain and throws it out the window. It completely mitigates what's most important. In the real world, the one we are living in, it doesn't matter who you are never entitled to a result. Victory is a product of the fight. The biggest favor you can ever do for yourself as you progress through life's up and downs, through the good and the bad, when things get rough, is know that you are going through what every successful person, every champion, every innovator has gone through in the history of mankind. Struggle is beautiful. It's a sign that you are in the midst of what separates great from average. It's a necessary step, and it's the most important step you will ever take, because 99% of people can't see past it, right? The world sees struggle, sees hardship as a time to pack it up, to walk away, to be intimidated. But the best, I'm telling you, they look at struggle differently. Just like you can't get fit without blood, sweat, and tears at the gym. You can't make deals without the hustle. You can't make things happen if you don't move forward in the face of adversity. When the word no is staring you in the eyes, it's all part of the process. Winners walk on. If you want something bad enough, you know that being uncomfortable is an ingredient. If you want to be the best, your mindset has to reflect the best, right? Let others focus on the tip of the iceberg. You know excellence lies in everything underneath the surface, in what cannot be seen. So take mediocrity and make it excellence. Take what's yours and hold it up for the world to see. Because what hurts now, in the present, is the very same thing that will transform your life down the road. You had a vision to build something that they've never seen before. But they gave it one look and called it insanity. You worked hour after hour for little reward. They watched from a distance and deemed it irrational. You simplified your life until it consisted of only your goal. But amidst convoluted objectives and routines, they declared it a tragedy. You failed and you failed, but you would not give in. And entertained by this struggle, they called you stubborn. Through it all, you never lost faith. They sat back and called it delusional. And then something happened. You succeeded. You succeeded like no one else before. And when you shared your result, they called it genius. When you told your story, they admired the persistence. When you uncovered your knowledge, your learning, your expertise, they asked for advice. See, you provided a blueprint, yet few people follow. Now they call you gifted, lucky, and you shake your head because as you made that climb, something became very obvious to you. This word, insanity, defined as extreme foolishness or irrationality, this is what got you to where you are today. And on the surface, when you took that first step, it was insanity. You left what was known, you were questioned, doubted, you looked inexperienced, you fell on your face. And hour after hour, you prayed that it was not in vain, and some days it felt like it was. but every single day you left something behind. The things that you'd outgrown, the things that would have surrounded your every move had you stayed in that spot, had you been intimidated by the depths of what they call insanity. But you didn't. You traded them for a chance to get what matters most, and now as you gain perspective, you see what was insane yesterday is now everyday reality. It's what you do without giving it a second thought, and you want more. Just the taste made you want more. To see what's out there, to see how far you can push. That is life. And as you prepare to continue down the road ahead of you, the peaks, the valleys, the twists, the turns, the ups and the downs, you realize that the only thing in this world that qualifies as insanity is being unwilling to take that next step. The fear of standing out, of being different, of living a life that was meant for you, that you deserve. Because to disregard that opportunity, oh, the insanity.